ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। I'm very grateful to be with all of you again in continuing our slowly, gradually exciting and even more enthralling narration of Sri Ramayana's Yuddha Kanda. Ravana, the main protagonist or antagonist, has entered the battlefield. And as Ramachandra is getting ready to face off with him, we heard that Lakshmana, with folded hands, requests Sri Ramachandra, somebody of your stature, going to fight with Ravana, who's such a tiny, useless fellow, doesn't look nice. Please give me the opportunity to fight with him. Sri Ramachandra smiled, gave him a piece of advice. If you remember, the advice was know his strengths and weaknesses, know your strengths and weaknesses, and be vigilant throughout the time you're fighting with him. And we had some discussion on it as well. Lakshmana embraced his brother, Parishvajya, Pujyacha, worshipped his brother Sri Ramachandra, circumambulated him, touched his feet, and became ready and went on to the battlefield. And this is where we'll pick up. As Lakshmana is entering the space where Ravana is fighting, it is astounding to see Ravana shooting hundreds and hundreds and almost thousands of arrows, each with so much precision and at such speed or velocity, and the number of arrows he's shooting, those arrows are piercing and tearing pieces of flesh of the bodies of the Vanaras. And the Vanaras are completely stunned as to how this is happening. Their bodies are being completely torn apart. At this time, Hanuman, who saw all this, picked up rocks and started throwing at the arrows and intercepting those arrows to protect the Vanaras. Tam alokya mahateja Hanuman marutatmaja nivarya sharajalani vidudrava sa ravanam. The word for us is nivarya sharajalani. Sharajala, the number of arrows that are coming one behind the other with such speed. It was not a ballistic, but almost a net, sharajala, a net that was being thrown on the monkeys. And how do you capture animals in a jungle? You throw a net at them. So there was no place to run and escape and protect themselves. The arrows were coming, and it's like a massive net that was piercing and hurting their bodies. So Hanuman, with this anger, Vidudrava sa Ravanam, he started running towards Ravana, coming close to Ravana's chariot. Hanuman raised his right arm, and as he's about to hit or punch, Hanuman gives Ravana a threatening message. You think you have become completely immune to anything and anybody because you have received blessings from the Devas, the Danavas, Gandharvas, Yakshas, Rakshasas, including Lord Brahma. But remember, there is danger from you, from the Vanaras. Avadhyatvam tvaya praptam vanarebhyastu te bhayam. Vanarebhyastu. But the Vanaras will cause great fear and danger to you. Ravana, I have raised my right hand, and it has five branches. That is the five fingers that he has. And when I hit you with this, the force of it will such that your prana, your life will come out of the jiva atma. The atma will come out of your body, which means you will be dead if I slap you hard. When Ravana heard this, obviously nobody dare speak to Ravana like that. And after all, a petty monkey in his mind. Of course, for us, he's the hero, Sri Hanumanji. But for Ravana, he's just a petty monkey. When Ravana heard this challenge or threat, Ravana's eyes inflamed with fury. How dare you speak to me like that? And Ravana said, okay, you can hit me one time and become famous in the world that Hanuman hit Ravana. But once you hit me, I will completely destroy you because you haven't fully understood who I am and I have clear understanding of your power. So he's speaking to a little, almost to some diminutive person. In Hindi, sometimes they say, "Tu bhi kya yaad rakhega?" Hit once, no problem. You'll become famous in the world that Hanuman hit Ravana. I'll give you that fame. But after that, when I hit you, you'll be dead. Kshipram paharaha nishanka sthiram kirtim avapnuhi. Become famous, get some praise for it. And after that, Ravana hit Hanuman strongly. Hanuman fell and reeled on the ground again and again. And quickly recovering his balance, our very intelligent Hanuman, who was endowed with so much energy, right? We call him uh, Manojavam, Marutatulya Vegam, Jitendriyam, Buddhimatam Varishtam. So Tejasvi, Valmiki calls him Tejasvi, Sthiryam Krutva Mahamatihi. Sthiryam Krutva. He became steady. Because when he got hit like that, he reeled. Then uh, Hanuman struck Ravana so strongly with his palm. He hit Ravana, must have given him a nice tight slap, so hard that Ravana got shaken, just as a mountain gets shook during an earthquake. Okay, mountains are called sthira, they don't move anywhere. Achalanam, Krishna says, among the immovable objects, I am the Himalaya. Himalayas are very mighty, they don't move. But when there is earthquake, the mountains move. And Ravana got so shaken as if a mountain shakes in an earthquake. Ravana didn't keep quiet. He hit back so strongly, hmm, that the monkeys or the Vanaras got hit with such, I guess, animosity and intensity that the Vanaras let out a loud cry. Ah! And seeing what Ravana had done, the great rishis, the siddhas were all up in the sky. They also shrieked with shock. Oh! Well, like, I'm sure each one of us has some experience, either watching, let's say, a cricket match or some game or whatever it is. And when you see uh, some shocking incident, even the audience or spectators will shout loudly, oh, whatever. They go along with the emotion of the game. So this way, the rishis generally, it's important to note why the rishis are shocked. The rishis have seen everything in this world. That's why they're called rishis. So in this world, there is nothing shocking to them. But those who don't have wisdom, they don't have the foresight of things, such persons are easily shocked by anything dramatic. But the rishis know everything. So there nothing in them is shocking to them. Nothing about the world is shocking to them because they already know. They are called Loka Tattva Vichakshanaha. Krishna uses this phrase to Uddhava. Loka Tattva Vichakshana. That if you can see, if you know how the world operates, if you know the rules that govern the material world, then nothing is shocking to anybody. But if you don't know the rules, then it is shocking. Oh, how can this happen? Oh, how can that happen? Oh, why does this happen? But even the rishis were completely shocked. Therefore, we find in Ramayana, I'm digressing for a moment, in Ramayana, there are all these wonderful verses that end with ha. Ha is an expression of astonishment, surprise, wonder, shock, sadness by Valmiki. Valmiki, who's a seer, who has seen everything. He has darshan of Sri Ramachandra. Ramachandra visited him. He has chanted the name of Rama for millions of years. So they know everything about everything. So there's nothing shocking. But such a person, when he's dwelling into the topic of Sri Ramachandra, there is ha so many times for him. So the rishis loudly raised a shout. Also, Hanuman is hitting Ravana, and when Hanuman is hitting Ravana with such a tight slap, even the rishis are raising, oh, so they're fully engrossed. They're also raising a shout of joy with him. Having been hit by Hanuman, Ravana had to recover his breath because he became breathless from that tight slap of Hanuman. And Ravana, because he is a fighter, he appreciates Hanuman for his power. I mean, imagine uh, what kind of opponent Hanuman should be that even Ravana praises him. He says, Sadhu Vanaraviryena Shlaghaniyosi me ripuhu Ravanenaiva muktastu Marutir Vakyam abravit. Oh, so Ravana said, Sadhu. Oh, well done, Vanara. Oh, Vanara, you've done so well. Virena, by your prowess, by your chivalry, Shlaghaniyosi. You've become worthy of my praise. Shlaghaniya. You've earned yourself my praise. May Ripu, you're my enemy, yet you have earned my praise. Meaning, I see you as an opponent fit to fight with me. Having heard this, Hanuman replied back to him, saying, Digastu mama viryasya yatvam jivitam Ravana. Jivasi Ravana? Digastu mama viryasya. You're calling me a compatible warrior for you? Che, digastu. Shame on me that I did not kill you with one slap. Sakrut tu prahare idanim. Sakrut tu prahara idanim. Durbuddhe kim vikatsase. Vikatsase. Why are you bragging? Vikathase. Vikathase means why are you bragging? If you are what you think you are, who you think you are, then this is the time that you to strike me once and show me that if you are really what people say you are. Sakruttu prahara idanim. Just once hit me and see. In fact, Ravana, if I punch you with my fist, pow, you when you open your eyes, you will be at the door of Yamaraja's abode. I mean, if someone speaks to Ravana like that, Ravana's wrath, Valmiki says Ravana's wrath blazed like a mighty fire. Tato Maruti Vakyena Kopastasya Prajajwale. Jwale is to fight. Prajajwale. His anger raised as a massive wrath in him. Ravana clenched his fist, his eyes inflamed with anger, and with great velocity struck Hanuman's chest. When Hanuman got struck on the chest, he fell and reeled again and again. Seeing Hanuman reeling on the ground like that, Neela, who became angry, how dare Ravana hit our hero Hanuman? And Ravana started moving his chariot towards Neela because Neela was standing right there to fight with him. Ravana released these mighty arrows that looked like serpents. That means as soon as they touch, they are poisonous. They sting very badly. And he began to torment Neela and all the other monkeys. Neela broke the top of a mountain peak with one hand. While Ravana is sending streams of arrows and hurled it at Ravana with great strength. At this time, Hanuman also saw Ravana encountering with Neela. Hanuman felt fully refreshed uh, back into his full alertness. While Ravana and Neela are fighting with each other, Hanuman did not attack Ravana, and he said to Ravana, it would not be proper to attack Ravana when he's fighting with Neela. This is proper conduct. Now, what is interesting is on Ravana's side, there is all sorts of trickery, and ways and means by which they are, I guess, breaking the rules. Although with fighting with Rakshasas, there are no rules. Yet Hanuman shows that how cultured he is. This would be a perfect time to punch Ravana when he is fighting with Neela and he may not be paying attention to Hanuman. But Hanuman said, no, that's not the right way to fight. Especially if he and Neela are fighting, I should not go and attack. It would not be proper. So then when Neela had thrown that mountain peak at him, Ravana shot 7 arrows and completely broke the mountain peak into pieces. Then Neela, who himself is very, very powerful, also glowed with anger. And The analogy given is Neela's glowing with anger is like the fire at the time of destruction. Kalagnir iva jajwala kopena paraviraha. Paraviraha, one who is capable of killing his opponent. Kalagnir iva jajwala. Started glowing, and then Neela picked up Ashwakarna and Sala trees as well as mango trees that are full in blossom. That means they are very heavy, and the trees of other species, and started fighting and throwing at Ravana one after the other. As the trees are coming closer to Ravana, Ravana is shooting arrows and piercing them and cutting them off, and very quickly covered Neela's body completely with hundreds of arrows. So what Neela did is very quickly made his form very small. And because it became very small, obviously it's harder to shoot a target at that speed when the target is very small. So as Ravana is trying, Neela jumped up high and went and sat on Ravana's, they call it the standard of the chariot. We've seen the chariot, there is a pole in between where the umbrella is, that's called the standard. This son of Agni, Neela, sitting on top of Ravana's chariot, blazing because he is Agni's son, shouted loud. So, because he shouted loudly, Ravana, he couldn't find Neela and then realized he's sitting up there. From afar, Lakshmana, Hanuman, Sri Ramachandra, they were all astonished to see how Neela, when Ravana is such a contender, killing thousands and thousands of monkeys at every second, Neela went and sat on his on the chariot standard. Hmm. Uh, they were shocked. Dhvajagre, Dhanushchagre, Kiritagre Chatam Harim. So Neela is so swift that it is confusing Ravana. One moment he's sitting on the Dhvajagre, on the top of the Dhwaja, the flag. The next moment, Dhanushagre, he is sitting on Ravana's bow. And the next moment, Kiritagre, he's sitting on Ravana's Kirita. Lakshmanota Hanuman Ramas Chapi Suvismita. No, Vismita means they are amazed. Suvismita, extremely amazed. Wow, Neela is something else. And he's so agile that even Ravana was astonished at Neela's dexterity and agility. At this time, imagine Ravana invoked the Agneya Astra, the Astra that is presided by Neela's father. Hmm? So some of the Vanaras who became so happy to see Neela, one of their own, tormenting Ravana with his agility, the Vanara started shouting with joy. Ah! Vanaranam cha nadena sarabandhe Ravanastada sambrama vishtad hridayo na kinchit pratyapadyata. The clamor of the Vanaras was so loud and everything was happening so quickly. Neela moving so fast that it said Ravana kinchit pratipadyata. He became confused for a moment. He didn't know what to do. Sambhramavishta hridayaha. Sambhramavishta. Brahma, puzzled. Sambhrama, very puzzled or completely puzzled for a moment. Hridayo, in his heart, he became not completely uh, confused what to do. Then he mounted the Agneya Astra, looked at Neela sitting on top of his flag, and Ravana told Neela, you have such agility and you move so fast, it seems like you have deceptive powers because you've changed your form from big to small. You have deceptive powers. Doesn't matter. Neela, save your life. Oh, monkey. Jeevitam khalu rakshasya yadi shaktosi vanara. If you are able to, if you have the capability, try and preserve your life because I'm about to kill you. You may have accomplished so many deeds. You would have won different championships, but you are now playing the big game. This is not his words, these are my words. Now you're playing the big game. But now, when I release this arrow, it is going to relieve you of your life. Saying this, Ravana released the Agneya Astra. And that Agneya Astra hit Neela. This is Agni presiding over it. And when it hit Neela's chest, Neela's entire body got burnt. And he fell to the ground. Now, this is Agneastra hitting Neela. Will it kill him? No. So it says, by the virtue of his father's greatness and his own energy, Neela only fell down on the ground on his knees, but he was not killed. Now, if he overpowers Agneya Astra, it would be a disrespect to his father. But it is his father, Agni, so it has some power in it. But the grace of his father and his own strength, at most he fell on the ground with on his knees. Janubhyam apadat bhumau natu praner viyujyatah. Na praner viyujyatah. Yujya is to combine or to connect. Viyujya is to separate. Na praner viyujyatah. His life heirs were not separated from him. Then, when Neela fell unconscious like that on the ground on his knees, Ravana now turned towards Lakshmana. And as the chariot is approaching Lakshmana, Valmiki said, the sound resembled the thundering of clouds, rumbling of clouds. The sound was very formidable, daunting. So he's approaching Lakshmana by intercepting others, moving everyone out of his ways. Ravana was twanging his bow. Now, the bow twangs are supposed to be very, very powerful. When they twang the string, it reverberates with mighty sounds. Sometimes, just by the twanging of their bowstring, the opponents will say, "Oh, I cannot fight." When Arjuna would twang the string of his Gandiva bow, many opponents would step back and say, "Whoa, I cannot fight with Arjuna." That's the power in just the string. Ravana is twanging his bow, as they say. Uh, for Lakshmana, it doesn't matter at all. The great son of Sumitra challenged Ravana. While was twanging his bow, it says, Ravana, be aware. Be careful. You're coming to fight with me. You're not fighting with monkeys or vanaras anymore. Na vanara nastvam pratiyodhumarhasi. Dare you not torment and fight these monkeys anymore. So, hearing this challenge, obviously, Ravana moved closer to the son of Sumitra, Lakshmana. And Ravana was so angry to see Lakshmana. He told Lakshmana, I'm very fortunate that you have appeared in front of my eyes. You're very soon going to meet the end of your life. When I shoot my arrows at you, very quickly, you will reach the region of death, which means you will die. That very moment, oh Raghava, दिष्ट्यासि मे राघव दृष्टिमार्गम प्राप्नो प्राप्तो प्राप्तोन्तगामी viparita buddhi. He's calling Lakshmana viparita buddhi. That means your intelligence is not working. The reason he's saying intelligence is not working is Lakshmana, you have the audacity to stand in front of me. That is why your intelligence is not working. An intelligent person would step aside and say, oh, that's Ravana. I cannot fight with him. So viparita buddhi. But now that you are here, it's great fortune for me that I saw you because I'm going to send you to your death in a moment. As far as Lakshmana is concerned, tamaha saumitrir ivas saumitrir avismayano. Lakshmana is not at all surprised or astonished. Garjantam udbhuvat shitagra damstram. Lakshmana replied to Ravana, who was displaying a fierce face with his sharp edged teeth. Garjantam, he was roaring. He says, Ravana, those who actually have strength, they don't boast. Those who boast, the meaning is that those who boast really have no strength. They rely on, oh, I'm so good, I'm so strong, I'm so wonderful, look at me, how wonderful I am. There is no substance there. But genuine people who have some substance or qualities, they never boast about themselves. A lovely instruction by Lakshmana to Ravana. Rajan nagarjanti mahaprabhava vikatsthe vikatse papakrutam varishtam. Those who are boasters, those who boast about themselves, they generally are the sinful ones. Now, Lakshmana is speaking to Ravana. That means these are lovely instructions. That whatever one does, it should never come across in a boastful way. I did this. I can do that. I did this. So wonderful to me. As the story progresses, we will hear how we have heard previously also how Hanumanji never boasts about his own capacities. If he says it, he will only say the factual of what happened, but never with the boastful sense. Here, Ravana, Vikatse, why are you boasting about yourself? He says, I know. I know your valor. I know your strength. I know your greatness and power, O Ravana. And because I know that, I'm standing with bow in my hand, arrows in my other hand. Come on, stop bragging and will you fight? Will you stop bragging and actually show me? Janami viryam tava rakshasendra, balam pratapam cha parakramam cha. I know all this. Huh? Agacha kim mogha vikatsate. Agacha, come on. Why are you just standing there and boasting? Mogha, useless bragging. What will you gain from such bragging? I mean, who has the audacity to tell Ravana to shut up, stop bragging, and fight if you're man enough? Ravana became filled with rage, and shot 7 beautiful arrows towards Lakshmana. But Lakshmana very quickly cut those arrows into small pieces by shooting back golden shafted arrows. And they were very sharp pointed tips. When Ravana saw that Lakshmana is cutting off his arrows, Ravana became even angrier. Oh, and then released even sharper arrows. But the younger brother of Sri Ravana, Ramanujaha, Valmiki calls him Ramanujaha, uh, sent back like a hailstorm of arrows and completely cut all of Ravana's arrows. Hmm? Uh, and the varieties of arrows that Lakshmana shot have the names Kshura, Ardhachandra, and Karni and Bhalla, and did not feel disturbed even in the least. Now, in all these streams of arrows that Ravana is shooting, he's looking that they are not affecting Lakshmana at all. Ravana became astonished at Lakshmana's skill. Visisimye Lakshmana Laghavena. Laghava, the lightness, the quickness of Lakshmana. Punascha Banan Nishitan Mumucho. Hmm. Then he started sending even sharper arrows. And the sharper the arrow he was sending, the faster the arrows, the more powerful the arrows he was shooting at Lakshmana. Lakshmana is responding back with equal or greater or better arrows back at Ravana. Uh, Finally, Ravana also shoots certain arrows in such a way that they break Lakshmana's arrows, and Lakshmana was stuck in the forehead by an arrow, an astra that was gifted to him by Lord Brahma. Uh, and that arrow looked like Kalagni. Now, on the side, Lakshmana is himself Anantasesha, or he's one of the Chaturvyuhas. Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Niruddha, so he's Sankarshana. Uh, so when that arrow struck Lakshmana in the forehead, uh, Lakshmana, Lakshmana's grip on his bow loosened a little bit, and he reeled. Reeled is fell back like that. Then he regained his senses with a little difficulty and shot arrows with such intensity that Ravana's bow that he was carrying in his hand, he broke it. Then Lakshmana hit Ravana with three sharp arrows. And that arrows, when they hit Ravana, Ravana also started swooning and reeling to recover his consciousness with difficulty. Uh, the speed and the strength with which these arrows hit Ravana, Ravana's entire body was covered in blood. And fat from his muscles were oozing and covered his body. Now, Ravana has never faced anything like that, so he became even angrier and picked up a javelin. You've seen javelin throw as a sport. He picked up a javelin that was gifted to him by Lord Brahma. It's called Shakti. And picked up that Shakti Shela. Shela is the javelin. Picked up this weapon called Shakti and released it on Lakshmana. Now, that javelin came with such speed and strength towards Lakshmana that it, before Lakshmana could react, or the speed with which it came, entered the chest of Lakshmana, the lovely son of Dasharatha. Dasharather Vishalam, uh, Shaktir Bhujantaram. It entered the chest of Lakshmana. Now, when hurt by this Shakti weapon, uh, Lakshmana was in severe pain. He started burning with that pain. and he just fell on the ground. Hmm? And as he fell on the ground, as losing his consciousness, Ravana came up to Lakshmana and tried to lift Lakshmana up and take him away. And so, with 20 arms, he tried to pick Lakshmana. At that time, Lakshmana became so heavy like the Himalayas that Ravana could not lift him. हिमवान मंदरो मेरुस्त्रैलोक्यां वा समाहरे सहामरे शक्यं भुजाभ्याम ऊर्ध्वतुम न शक्यो भरतानुजः. The younger brother of Bharata. Here instead of Ramanuja, he is referred to as the younger brother of Bharata, because Bharata is so steady in his service and consciousness towards Ramachandra that is completely achala. Nothing can move Bharata from it. That means he's very, very guru, heavy. When Ravana was able to lift or shake Kailasha, but he was not able to lift Lakshmana, because Lakshmana became as heavy as the Himalayas, the Mandara, and the Merus, and all the three worlds together. I mean, who's lifting the entire universe on his hoods? The Amsha of Lakshmana. Hmm? So even Lakshmana, the javelin struck right in his chest. While Ravana is trying to lift him up and he's losing his consciousness, Lakshmana remembered that he is an Amsha of Vishnu. Vishnor Amimamsya Bhagam Atmanam Pratya Anusmarat. He remembered that he is a Amsha of Vishnu. Huh? Although Ravana has so much power in his arms that he can crush anybody with those arms, was unable to lift up Lakshmana. Now, this scene, imagine Lakshmana uh, falling unconscious with a javelin right through his chest, and Ravana trying to pick up Lakshmana. Hanuman became full of anger and ran towards Ravana, and with his fist struck Ravana in the chest, and that hit Ravana like a thunderbolt. Hmm? Ravana fell onto the ground of his chariot, fell on his knees, and completely fell down, prostrate on his face forward onto the ground as if he's paying dandavat. He just fell down. And the punch was so strong that Ravana started bleeding from his mouth, his eyes, and ears. And he just fell motionless completely in his chariot. And Ravana fainted. Now, seeing Ravana fainted, the rishis in the sky, uh, along with the devatas and the other danavas who were all looking at this scene, suddenly shouted with joy. Vayusuno suhrutvena bhaktya paramaya cha saha shatrunam akampakampyopi lagutvam agatah kape. So everybody shouted with joy, and immediately Hanuman took the opportunity and picked up wounded Lakshmana in his arms. And Valmiki says, because Hanuman has so much affection for Lakshmana, that Lakshmana became so light for Hanuman to pick him up. Even though Lakshmana is unshakable for his enemies, he became very light for Hanuman to carry him due to Hanuman's affection. Bhaktya paramaya cha saha suhrutvena, because Vayusuno suhrutvena. He is such a suhrud. He has such affection and bhaktya, such devotion for Lakshmana. So these are we are learning that for a sadhaka, as much as one may have affection for Lord Shri Krishna, Lord Ramachandra, equal affection must be for Lord Balaram or Lakshmana or Nityananda, Nitai. Hmm. And he became so light that who Ravana could not lift suddenly was being lifted by Hanuman. Uh, Now, the Shakti weapon that was in Hanuman's chest released itself and went back to the chariot of Ravana. Now, meanwhile, Ravana has also regained his consciousness and suddenly became full energized, picked up a mighty bow, and was ready to fight. Meanwhile, Lakshmana also regained his consciousness because he knows he is a part of Vishnu. And all of his wounds were healed up. Ashvastascha, Vishalaksha, big eyes, because he had fainted. Now Vishalaksha, his eyes are big. That means he's full of energy. Lakshmanaha, Shatrusudanaha, Vishnor Bhagam Imam Asyam Atmanam Pratya Prati Anusmaran. He remembered it again. Hmm? Now, Sri Ramachandra is about to now enter the scene of the fight, which we will leave for next week. And we'll pause here and see if there are any comments, reflections, thoughts, questions, objections. Silence is not an answer, so say something. Let the narration enter your being. Any thoughts, comments, anything you want to share? Anybody?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Atulya Devidasi. Please accept my humble wishes. Uh, Prabhu, many interesting thoughts here. First of all, like this lifting of Lakshmana by Ravana versus Hanuman. Lakshmana is very heavy for Ravana and very light for Hanumanji. I was thinking, like it's the internal consciousness that makes such a difference in our life. Like our life could look burdensome, or our life could look very light,
Hmm.
based on the internal disposition of the heart towards the Lord. So I just want to hear more about this. Would you like to churn this a little bit more?
I'm not sure of that point, but what we can appreciate is approaching someone like Sri Lakshmana is very mm, a razor's edge of consciousness, like a razor's edge. To be able to move a person like Lakshmana or Guru by one's, let's say, words or actions, if it is boastful or exertion of false ego, quote unquote, it doesn't move uh, Lakshmana or Lakshmana's representatives at all. As I'm saying this, I'm remembering when Sri Krishna was visiting Hastinapur as a messenger. Duryodhana organized something very fanciful to receive Krishna as a part of, or as a way or means of manipulating Krishna to be in his favor. It didn't move Krishna in any way. His heart didn't move in any way. Now, here we're talking physically lifting Lakshmana, but his heart didn't move at all. But the very simple devotion of Vidura's wife moved his heart to such an extent that never heard in history is that the Lord ate the peel of a banana. He says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. If you give me a fruit with love, I will eat it. Ashnami, I will eat it. Prayatatmanaha. Here, she did not even give a fruit, she gave the peel of a fruit. Peel is given to thrown away for cows and other animals to eat. But
Mm.
Krishna ate that with relish, with tears flowing through his eyes as to how Sambhrama, how eager she was that he came to her house. That is the moving. So Valmiki uses the word bhaktya. Uh, I find the verse. Oops, where is it? Vayusuno suhritvena. Suhritvena. By his well-wishing, by his love in the heart for Lakshmana, bhaktya, by his bhakti, paramayacha, and bhaktya paramaya, very, very refined love for Lakshmana. Saha, lagutvam agatah kape. Lagutvam agatah kape. He became light for the monkey, for Lakshmana, Hanumanji to lift him up. So what's important is these two qualities, suhritvena, paramaya bhaktya, parama bhakti and sauhardam. Isn't that the phrase used by Narada talking about a brahmachari? Brahmachari, Gurukule, Vasan, Dantaha, Acharan, Dasavat, Nichaha, Gurur Hit or Gurur Sauhridam. One should have, I didn't finish the verse completely, but one should have Sauhridam, well wishing in the heart for the Guru, for the Vaishnavas. Parama Bhakti. That's important. Then it's the same task that Ravana did, carrying Lakshmana, but Ravana could not. Ravana had mighty strength in his arms. Hanuman also has, but what came to use here was not his strength. Valmiki never said Hanuman picked Lakshmana with all his strength. He says Lakshmana was picked by Hanuman by the strength of Hanuman's heart. I'm using the phrase Hanuman's heart, because the heart has well-wishing feelings. Now, a devotee's heart, when it has such loving feelings and bhakti for the Lord, that immovable Lord moves. Who can carry the Lord? Who can carry Krishna on his head that Vasudeva was able to carry? I mean, who can carry the one who is the abode of all the universes was being carried on the head of Vasudeva? Who can move? Right? How is it possible? These features of love. That's important. And therefore, Hanuman is in that scene. And he ran that how dare Ravana. So to protect Lakshmana from even being hit again, he punched Ravana and carried Lakshmana back. Lovely service.
Hmm.
Hmm?
Wonderful, Prabhu. Like I feel that even in the realm of devotional service, while doing a service. Of course, there's so much benefits of just rendering devotional service to the Lord, but the focus many times could go to the external aspects of devotional service.
Mm.
Or I'm just talking about myself, like, very easily get lost in it. But like this internal disposition, the strength doesn't come from one's skills and whatnot, but the strength comes from the heart. As you said, Hanuman's strength was his love towards his heart. So the heart has to move. Even if I'm doing devotional service to the Lord, the effect of it I should see, or the fulfillment of that service is that it should soften my own heart or increase the feelings in my heart, and not it be two different spaces, like one island is my heart and the other island I'm doing devotional service. It needs to be very well connected, and that's when the service will become, I was when I saying my our life, but maybe the context now is that the devotional service becomes very light and joyful, and increasing the emotions for the Lord. Is would that be the right kind of a conclusion from all of this
Yeah,
discussion?
thank you, Atulya. What we do is very important. How we do it is even more important.
Hmm. Thank you, Prabhu, for summarizing this in one line.
Thank you, Atulya, for churning the topic a little bit. Anyone else? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Oh, there it
Mm,
is. There you go, Stira.
uh, I was just thinking, meaning, adding to this discussion, Hanuman is carrying Lakshmana physically, yet bhajan is also that pure devotee carries Krishna in his heart, and Krishna says, "I live in the heart of the devotees."
Yeah.
So, mm, so the affection is something by which one can carry Krishna in their heart. Um, that's what my thoughts were going to. So just wanted to share. Thank you.
Nice way of looking at it.
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna,
may
Prabhu.
I? Sorry.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is my humble wishes.
1 second, Sarvabhauma Prabhu. Before you, two other people said something. So I think it was Priya Charana and Atulya also. So hold on. Whoever wants to go first.
You can complete your thoughts, Mataji. I can wait.
No, Mataji, I already asked one. I'll ask in the end if there's time.
It was not more of a question, but just an appreciation, Prabhu. Today were like so many characters, like how Neela comes, Hanuman comes, Lakshmana comes into the play. It's like as if we are visualizing the whole Ramayana. This is so beautiful. This Yuddha Kanda, I'm really thankful that you're going it so slow and nice. Thank you, Prabhu. I just loved the Neela part this time today. Actually, it was so sweet.
Yeah, we are all so fortunate that something Valmiki wrote uh, so many millions of years ago, by the blessings of Lord Brahma, it has been preserved. Yavat sthasyanti girayah
Mm.
saritascha mahitale tavat Ramayana katha lokeshu pracharishyati. It has been preserved and preserved and preserved by these great, great, great acharyas, so we can get to hear. And the way it has been written by Valmiki, that it's almost like you're watching a movie, perhaps even better than a movie, because our imagination is so full of variety, and that for each one of us, the visual will look different. Because that's however our imagination versus someone already imagined and put it on the screen for you. The imagination just opens the heart for such thrill, and in the middle of a fight scene, with blood, the description of blood from Ravana's ears, eyes, mouth, and it's not just one head, 10 heads. He's fallen on the ground. Lakshmana, being pierced by a Shakti weapon, went right through his chest. Oh, it's sad to hear. And in the middle of it, there is such love being expressed that Hanuman is able to carry Lakshmana. It is fascinating what Valmiki has given, and he's written them down. I mean, no
Yeah.
wonder when Lava and Kusha are singing this, even Ramachandra forgot himself completely. Even the citizens who are sitting there forgot that Ramachandra is sitting right next to them. They are slapping each other and on each other's back and thighs and relishing with Rama sitting with them. Wow.
I was having one question that Neela is in one way like when like in front of great heroes like Lakshmana or Hanuman or Ramchandra himself, right? But he still wanted to do his attempt of service, knowing
Yeah.
maybe it may become. So that was very fascinating for me.
Everybody has a place, everybody has service to do.
Yeah,
Everybody. The unlimited Sri Ramachandra can accept unlimited service for unlimited time from everybody. Everybody plays a role. Now, in other Ramayanas, there is the squirrel also, the spider sometimes is referred to. Everybody offered service. So it's not how big or how mighty, it is how much, back to what Atulya was sharing, how much heart is put into it.
thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Priya Charana. Atulya, let's take Sarvabhauma's question if you don't mind. And then
Absolutely, Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Few thoughts, Prabhu.
Sarvabhauma Prabhu, can you
Am I audible?
please?
Am I audible?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
computer has a little speaker issue, but I can hear, I think.
Okay. A few thoughts. One is, as you are saying, the devotion and the Sohridam, right? So that is, I was drawing parallel in case of Arjuna, as Krishna was saying, "Bhakta asi mein sakha jyoti," right? Devotion and his sakha means Sohrit in that case. And that's why he could get transcendental knowledge as it is. Another thought was coming, which is kind of opposite to what you described today, but the theme is same. In case of Trinavrata, just before that, Krishna became very heavy for Mother Yashoda. It's like opposite, just because the for the sake of pastime, and then he became very light for Trinavrata to eventually become heavier. Uh, so he changes the things based on the need for his pastime.
Yeah, nice, sweet.
And the last thing, as Mataji was speaking, regarding the devotion. So as we are talking about the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, so kriti sadhe bhavet sadhe sadhasa sadhana vida, right? So ultimately it has to come to, I mean, the stage of bhava bhakti. That should be our direction, right? So as we hear that, as we engage in devotional service, specifically for this is, sadhana bhakti, so ultimately it has to come to the stage of bhava bhakti. That should be the direction. Otherwise, like if we, what we usually do, moving hands and limbs, uh, until ultimately it has to go to sadhana bhava bhakti. Otherwise, it is not in the category of sadhana bhakti. As long as it is just mechanical, it is still not in the category of sadhana bhakti. It has to be directed towards bhava bhakti, right?
Mechanical, it is not even sadhana bhakti.
Hmm.
Because by the definition of sadhana bhakti that Rupa Goswami gave, it can't be mechanical. It has to be Krishna Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam should be there.
Right.
The Anukulena feature is the feature even in sadhana bhakti. So we have to that is what Atulya brought up earlier, or similar, is the condition of the heart when we are uh, executing bhakti, anukulyena, favorable.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Because just the mechanical aspect would be some sort of karma mishra or some sort of other piece in it, but not pure, not exclusive. Okay, it's 9:40. Atulya, is your question short or, I mean, question
Yeah.
may be short, maybe heavy. So let's see what you have.
No, it's probably it's a little technical question. When you were describing
Oh,
about
I'm not the right person for technical stuff. Sham Kund's here.
okay, so you were saying that Ravana told Hanuman that, yeah, you first, slap me and get the glory. But when you describe the pastime, it was first Ravana hit Hanuman and not the other way around. And then second blow was Hanuman's to Ravana. Did I hear it correctly, or
Oh,
is
I don't
it?
remember. I was in a flow. So let's see. I have to go search for it. 1 second. How about this? Let me search for it and I'll
Yeah.
put it on our WhatsApp group.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
I may have, in the flow of the narration, may not have said it in the right order. I don't know. Let me check. I'm still in the Sauhruday situation right now, but I'll look right back.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. I hope it is not salt in the kheer or something.
No, not at all. Not at all. uh, uh, okay. Yeah. Tripram Parhar Nishanka. Anyway, let's not keep everyone waiting. I will write on the WhatsApp group. Uh, okay, so thank you very much for being here. I'm very grateful to you that you come each week and encourage me in this narration. Although my knowledge of it is just reading the verses, not really any commentaries or deeper insights, but it gives me great joy uh, when I see that you're here to encourage me each week. So thank you very much. I'm greatly indebted to all of you. I pray that we all have a wonderful week, remembering the lovely activities of Sri Hanumanji, the love exchange between Hanuman and Lakshmana, and like that between Ramachandra, Sita Devi, and all their associates. It is such a lovely, lovely flow of love from one heart to another, and then filling up that heart and overflowing to other people. Such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you. Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki